Imagine, just for a second, the absolute devastating reality of losing your entire livelihood overnight. Literally overnight. You wake up, you check your phone, and boom, your account is just deactivated. All those clients you built up, the 5-star reviews you hustled for, that steady cash flow you relied on, poof, all wiped out by some faceless algorithm. No appeal, no helpful customer service hotline, it's just gone. What do you even do in that situation? Well, let's dive right into this because today we're breaking down a source that details exactly how to survive this absolute nightmare and actually come out on top. Looking at the source creator's story, we're not talking about some struggling beginner here. They had built a massive freelancing presence, pulling in well over $100,000 on Fiverr. That's life-changing money. Naturally, they felt completely secure in their success. In fact, they felt so totally secure that they packed up and moved abroad, living that dream location-independent freelancer lifestyle. Life was good, the money was absolutely flowing, and the platform was doing all the heavy lifting for them. But then came the ultimate whiplash of platform dependence. While they were out there enjoying this brand new life outside their home country of Nigeria, Fiverr permanently banned their account. Just like that, their income dropped to zero. Nothing. They were stuck in a foreign country, totally cut off from their only financial lifeline, and eventually had to swallow their pride and head back to Nigeria. It's a huge wake-up call, right? This is the ultimate danger of building your house on rented land. If you don't own the pipeline, you don't really own the business. But what happened next is exactly why we're here today. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to break down the exact step-by-step system this creator used to rebuild their career totally from scratch. And not just as another freelancer begging for scraps on a crowded job board, but as a scalable, high-ticket remote business owner. This is all about taking back control and generating your own demand. Before we really get into the weeds, here's our quick agenda for today. We'll start with the platform trap, move into the 5-step system, hit targeting and offers, break down cold email and LinkedIn, discuss sealing the deal, and finally, scaling your business. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the platform trap, and how we escape algorithm dependence. So, the core thesis of our source material is that relying on luck, passive referrals, or third-party platforms like Fiverr and Upwork is a massive vulnerability. Let's be real, it's not a true business if a single random algorithm update can shut your doors forever. The absolute cure to this trap? Outbound acquisition. The source defines this as a proactive, automated system for generating your own demand. You weren't sitting around waiting for people to find you, you were actively going out to them. And hey, this isn't just some clever freelancing trick. The creator points out that massive enterprise companies, billion-dollar giants like Twilio, use this exact same outbound methodology to grow from a tiny startup into an absolute industry powerhouse. Moving right along to Section 2, the 5-step system. This is your playbook to predictable income. Now that we actually know what outbound acquisition is, we're going to look at the complete automated blueprint detailed in the source material. This is the exact engine that took the creator from absolute zero back up to closing high-ticket deals worth thousands. So here's the whole shebang. Step 1 is targeting your ideal clients. Step 2 is crafting an irresistible offer. Step 3 is outreach via cold email. Step 4 is building out your LinkedIn storefront. And Step 5 is actually getting on calls to sell and close those deals. The source makes a huge point here. Mastering these 5 interconnected steps is the secret to shifting your mindset from a passive order taker into an active, in-control business owner. Which brings us to Section 3, targeting and offers, covering those crucial first 2 steps. Look, before you can ever send a single email or ask anybody for money, you need to know exactly who you're talking to and exactly what value you're bringing to the table. That's Step 1, targeting. You absolutely cannot just blast emails randomly to anyone with a pulse in the US or the UK. It just doesn't work. Instead, you have to select specific industries aligned with your expertise. Think architecture or e-commerce, for example. The source highly recommends checking out competitors who are already crushing it in these niches to see exactly who they target. You can even run simple surveys using Google Forms to ask potential clients what's really holding their business back. Once you uncover that deep pain point, maybe it's terrible conversion rates, you align your specific service to solve that exact need. Okay, so once you know who you're targeting, you need Step 2, the offer. And the source has a very specific formula for this. The goal here is to make an offer so unbelievably good that a potential client would literally feel stupid saying no to it. To pull that off, it requires 4 things: a clear promise of what you do, a measurable result they actually care about, a specific time frame for delivery, and a risk-free guarantee. Think a money-back promise or a commitment to work for free until that specific result is hit. Let's look at the crucial difference here. Saying I design websites is a super weak offer. It's just a feature. Honestly, nobody really wants a website. They want what a website does for them. A strong offer, according to the source, sounds more like this. I will design a sales funnel that doubles your conversions in 30 days or you get your money back. See the difference? It hits the promise, the measurable result, the exact time frame, and that ironclad guarantee, all in one powerful sentence. All right, section 4, cold email and LinkedIn, which covers steps 3 and 4 of the system. With our ideal client dialed in and our irresistible offer loaded in the chamber, we transition to outreach. This is where we take that amazing offer and put it right in front of the key decision makers who actually have the budget to hire us. Notice how incredibly surgical a proper cold email is. Looking at this exact example from the source, it starts with a personalized icebreaker about Tom's condos, just to prove you aren't some spammy robot. Then it pivots straight into the value prop, premium CGI visuals. It casually drops some social proof by mentioning a previous client, Meridian Homes. And finally, it wraps up with a very low-friction, soft call to action. Would you be the best person to discuss this with? It's not pushy at all, it's just starting a conversation. But here is where this whole strategy shifts into high gear. The source reveals that the real secret sauce to outbound acquisition is the law of large numbers. The creator asks us to imagine sending 20,000 targeted outreach emails every single month. I know, that sounds physically impossible to do manually, but by utilizing automated systems and the right software tools, sending volume at this massive scale is entirely doable. And why on earth do we need that kind of insane volume? Because it mathematically completely removes the pressure of needing a high success rate. The source explains that when you automate at this level, you only need a microscopic conversion rate of 0.1%. Let that sink in, not 1%, 1/10 of 1%. Let's actually do the math on that really quick. If you reach out to 20,000 people and convert just 0.1% of them, that gives you 20 clients. If your high-ticket offer is priced at just $1,000, that mathematically guarantees you $20,000 in revenue for the month. By doing this kind of volume, failure becomes virtually impossible, just as long as your offer is solid. But there is a catch. Think about it. When you send out thousands of emails, what is the very first thing those prospects are going to do? They're going to Google your name. And that leads us perfectly into step 4. Your LinkedIn profile is almost certainly going to be the first thing that pops up, thanks to its high SEO ranking. What the source points out here is fascinating. Your LinkedIn cannot just be some boring resume full of job titles. It absolutely must be a high-converting storefront, optimized to showcase your results, your authority, and your social proof. If your LinkedIn looks messy or unprofessional, you're literally just chasing those hard-earned email prospects away. Moving on to Section 5, Sealing the Deal. So we've reached the final hurdle in our 5-step system. Your emails are firing off, your LinkedIn is beautifully optimized, and clients are actually replying. Now you actually have to get on a video call and seal the deal. This next part from the source reveals the true psychology of a successful sales call. A lot of freelancers get super anxious here, but selling isn't about being pushy at all. It's about being a guide. First, you ask questions to control the flow of the call. Let them do the talking. Second, you use those answers to uncover their specific business pain. Third, you present your customized service as the exact medicine for that specific pain. And fourth, you tie your asking price directly to their return on investment. Just look at how the pricing conversation is handled in this quote from the source. Instead of just nervously saying, I charge $500 for landing pages, you frame it against their massive potential gains. You say something like, if we increase your conversions by just 5%, that's an extra $250,000 in sales for your business. All we're asking for to make that happen is $500. Framed that way, the price seems microscopic. It makes the sale an absolute, undeniable no-brainer for the client. And finally, Section 6, Scaling your business, going from freelancer to owner. Once you master this 5-step outbound machine, you're going to have way more high-ticket clients than you could ever possibly handle on your own. So what happens next? Well, this is where you officially graduate from freelancer to a true business owner. The ultimate goal, according to the source, is definitely not to sit hunched over your laptop fulfilling all these orders yourself. No way. Your job becomes generating the demand using the outbound system. Then you stop doing the hands-on work, and instead you outsource the delivery to professional freelancers on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork, or maybe you build your own in-house team on Slack. You act as the bridge, you keep that hefty profit margin in the middle, and you simply manage the business operations. We're going to wrap up today's explainer with this super powerful thought from the creator. Freedom starts when you stop waiting for opportunity and start building systems. The huge takeaway here is that you really don't have to be at the mercy of platform algorithms or luck or even your geographic location. By implementing a proactive, high-volume outbound system, you take complete 100% control of your demand, your income, and ultimately, your freedom. So, I'll leave you with this question. Are you ready to stop waiting around for your next client and start building the system that brings them directly to you?